welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to the channel here today, guys, where it is time for yet more Barça transfer news. I can't get enough right now of the transfer window because it finally feels as though we're alive in this window. We have finally got some room to manoeuvre, to do some business, and today we're going to be talking about the likes of Bernardo Silva, about Joao Cancelo, two big targets of Barça there from Man City. We're also going to be talking today too, though, about Ivan Fresneda once again, and we are going to discuss the rumours surrounding Andreas Christensen that have filtered throughout the day. It is all coming up for you. Thank you indeed for joining me, guys. Let's do it. But first of all, it is only fair to begin by talking about the big and important news surrounding Franck Kessie, and now a confirmed sale for FC Barcelona, because Kessie now will be joining the Saudi Arabian club Al Ahly for a fee of 15 million euros this summer. That right there is money that Barça have been desperately hoping to get in for the whole of the summer so far. They've been wanting Kessie to leave the club because Xavi did not count on him for the coming season. Now, some people are wondering, could Barça have got more out of that deal? Should they have asked? Should they have demanded more money from Saudi Arabia? But I think given the situation that we're in here, everybody knows we're desperate for funds, desperate for sales this summer. And you add to that, of course, the fact that we signed Kessie just 12 months ago now for absolutely nothing. So on the face of that, maybe Barça here have just taken what we could get. And I've got to say, though, I've got a lot of respect for Kessie. I really do appreciate the way that he's conducted himself ever since arriving here at the club, the way that he's acted in the short time that he's been here, because don't forget, he chose to come to Barça, rejecting other offers. He achieved the dream there in signing for the club. He's made all of that possible, and I think he always knew in the back of his mind, and I do believe he would have been made aware, this may only be for the short term. I think this was always something that was on the cards, Barça selling Kessie on later, but he always worked hard, and even when he wasn't getting opportunities, he kept his head down, he stayed very professional, he kept working, and now at the end of it all, he has moved on without any fuss, any drama at all, and I really appreciate that from him there, because who will ever forget his winner in El Clasico there? That was a goal there that effectively wrapped up the league title at the time, and it was one of the most atmospheric Clásicos I can remember at the Camp Nou, and he will always be remembered for that moment. That is what he's got here out of his time at Barça, to live those kinds of moments. It's a special one for him, and I feel like in the end here, everybody has sort of got a win. Barça are getting an important fee, Saudi are getting a great player, a real quality player in his prime years, and Kessie, in accepting to go there, don't forget, he signs a great contract, a 3-year deal, 20 million per year, and I think we all come together here to wish Kessie all the very best, and thank you for your service. But indeed, guys, from one player there that we signed on a free last summer, swiftly moving on now to another, because I want to address quite urgently here some of the rumours that we've been hearing today about Andreas Christensen, because Gerard Romero, who's been quite quiet throughout the summer, he's come out today with a lot of information. He broke the big news today that Barça have rejected an offer for Christensen there. It was a 30 million bid that arrived at the club, and no word there on exactly where that bid came from or whether the club in question will return with a bigger offer. But Romero did say this, although Barça there rejected that 30 million bid instantly, he did say that if that went up to, say, 50 million, maybe then the club would start to think about their options a bit more. Maybe they would give that offer a little bit more thought. But I just want to make it absolutely clear, guys, and I think this should be the way that Barça are feeling too. We shouldn't even be entering a conversation at 50 million when you're talking about Andreas Christensen. The way that he has performed since arriving here, how he fits the club perfectly, the way that he plays there as a defender, the performances that he's put in, he's at a great age as well. There is no chance we should be selling him for anywhere near 50 million euros, even more so when you think of the kind of money defenders have been going for in the game now. For the past couple of seasons, he's worth so much more than that. We're all aware of that. And I think we've worked hard here at Barça this summer to add quality depth to our squad, to actually cover ourselves very well in every position. And don't forget, centre-back. For the first time in I can't even think how long at Barça, centre-back is our best area. That is where we are most stacked with quality options everywhere you look, and that is what we need. That is is what a squad that wants to challenge for every title, every game, win it all, you've got to have that. And centre-back is rock solid, and I wouldn't do anything right now, anything at all, to change that. But indeed, guys, with the money that Barça are already getting now from Kessie, and of course with Ousmane Dembele leaving too, like I say, we have options in the market right now. And I want to talk here about Bernardo Silva. He has been the big topic of the day, and also how this may have a knock-on effect too on other transfers, because Pep Guardiola really kicked things off today by actually speaking there about Bernardo and about Barca's interest in him. He said, I don't want any players who don't want to be here, don't want to be at Man City. He said, but we need a proper offer, and we didn't get a proper offer yet. He said if they want him, they will have to get on a plane and come to meet our club. So Pep, very firm there that if Bernardo doesn't want to stay, Man City have always said they won't stand in his way, but to let him go, Barca will need to make an approach. And that is the interesting part about today, because it's been very widely reported in the media that that first bid from Barca, it's on its way. And today we have been hearing that that first bid may be worth from Barca 65 million euros plus 10 million in potential variables. And that fee there, that 65 million, would, just like the Ferran deal, be paid in installments. So that could be a total there of a 75 million euro package. Other sources have said that Barca don't really want to go beyond 70 million for Bernardo. But what I want to stress here about this first offer is that when it does go in, and it appears to be very, very imminent, apparently it's going to be designed to test the water in Manchester right now, to see what the feeling is like at City with Pep there as well when it comes to Bernardo. Because off the back of these words from Pep Guardiola, once that official approach has been made, apparently Barca are expecting Bernardo to help out here. We all know too well how much he wants to join. It's been his dream, actually, not just from last summer, but for many, many years, and ever since he was a kid, to be at Barca. And they expect Bernardo to put maximum pressure on Man City here, and Pep to stick to their word, to say, look, you've said I could go, you've said there that you won't stand in my way if a club comes in, if I want to leave the club, you said you'd facilitate that. And they expect Bernardo there to make sure that Man City are aware of their previous words. And Romero has reported today that if Bernardo does manage to be signed at Barca, his wages at the club would be between 10 to 11 million euros. That's net salary there. That is not gross, but net 10 to 11 million. And his contract would be a 3-year deal with the option of a 4th. However, guys, this is the part right now where things just start to get a bit interesting, a little bit intriguing, especially when you're talking about that potential Bernardo Silva bid, because now it's being questioned in the media. Well, how is that going to affect any deal for Joao Cancelo? Somebody also, of course, coming from Man City this summer, because we spoke yesterday on the channel about Cancelo, about how we've agreed personal terms with him, about all of that is wrapped up there on the player's side, things looking very, very positive on that deal. But again, just like with Bernardo, there still hasn't been an official offer from Barca. That is still yet to be made. And the feeling today in the media is that it may be decisive where that first offer goes. Which player there that bid is lodged for? You know, are we going to go first for Cancelo? Is that bid going to go in first and then focus on Bernardo? Or are Barca here going to focus everything on Bernardo Silva, the big signing, the big money? Is it all going to go on him? And if that happens, is that going to affect the Joao Cancelo deal negatively? Because there does seem to be uncertainty right now in the media as to whether Barca could afford both of the deals for Bernardo and for Cancelo in the remainder of the window. Both of them together. Do we have the finances for that? Do we have the salary margin for that? Again, it all depends on exits, but now we've had Kessie. We're going to have Dembele. Is that going to be enough for both of them, or is that still not going to do it? And that is once again why today Ivan Fresneda's name is well and truly there. He still remains an option for this club, and I want to stress here, he's never ever been ruled out. He continues there to be waiting for Barca. A much younger option, of course, to Cancelo, 18 years old Fresneda, and I think for quite a few Barcelona fans, it wouldn't be the end of the world, you know, if we had to go for Fresneda there, a younger profile, somebody who Xavi would have to develop maybe a little bit more. He would be that cheaper option. He would have lower wages wages, of course, than Cancelo, but still with plenty of talent. But here's the thing, guys, because it doesn't just end there. It's not just right now about, well, are we going to sign Cancelo or Fresneda? Are we going to sign Cancelo or Bernardo? Because then the other way of putting it too is, what if I also told you right now that if Barca weren't going to spend all of the money on Bernardo Silva, if they didn't get him, Gerard Romero says today that it's not completely ruled out. Barca could sign both Cancelo and Fresneda in the same summer there, to actually say we want one player who's in his prime years, one player there who's proven and can perform now and come in and really have an impact. And don't forget, he's versatile too, like we said, but then to also have this really exciting young talent, somebody who in years to come really could grow, really could improve and fill that position for many, many years to come. And it might be a market opportunity. It might not even be one that we do this summer. We might sign Fresneda on a similar deal to Vitor Roque, perhaps, leave him on loan somewhere else for the season. But this is what I mean right now, guys, about having options at last. Because Barca, for most of this summer transfer window, they've been looking around, they've been trying to make things happen, but we haven't really had any options, any margin in the wage, any money to spend. Now we actually do. With these sales coming in, with the money that's going to be freed up, we have money to spend. But now the bigger question is, how are we going to do it? Where is that money going to go? And now it's about making the right choices, the right decisions, not only in the short term, but also looking at the bigger picture too. So what I would really like in the comments down below today, guys, is to know, how would you spend this money now? Would you go all after Bernardo Silva, even if it was at a cost there to a right-back signing this summer? When it comes to the right-backs, are you looking at one or the other? Or would you love to see both of them signed? Is that necessary to do this summer? Please do let me know, guys, how you would go about now the remainder of this transfer window and how you are feeling in amongst all of this transfer news right now. Please let me know everything you are feeling. I will be back with you soon to discuss it all, because no doubt there's going to be lots more on the way, lots more twists and turns to come, and I personally am very excited to see how this all turns out. Thank you indeed for watching and for all of your support, but until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.